Hello everyone, welcome to GB Reddy's Automation World. Right, today's class is about automation framework interview questions, top 25 interview questions and answers. Right, that we can expect in all the interviews. Right, mostly I have covered all. Right, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, enable notification for ongoing interesting videos. Right, quickly we will jump into today's topic. Okay, what are the top 25 automation framework interview questions that are asked? First question: what are the main components of the automation framework that built for Selenium, right, using TestNG and Cucumber? Here we will see both versions, right? Actually, both versions related to right TestNG versus Cucumber also. Here we will see both right TestNG, how we will do it in TestNG and how we will do it in Cucumber, both, so that we will cover at a time both the frameworks, TestNG framework, Cucumber framework. Right, if you take any automation framework, right, suppose if you want to build the TestNG framework, what are the components we required? Right, we required, see, suppose we start with the TestNG. Right, if we want to build, first we have to create the Maven project. Right, that is the basic thing. Right, Maven, we required a Maven project. And then if we are working with a Selenium, right, we are doing with the Selenium with Java or Python, whatever language. Right, we required a Selenium WebDriver. Right, TestNG. Right, WebDriver means if you want to interact with the browser actions, we require a WebDriver. TestNG, right, if you want to execute our test cases, we require TestNG. Page object model, right, for the repository, right, page repository. And Maven, Gradle, right, dependency management, build management, right, log4j and slf4j to capture the logs for debugging and reporting. For assertions, we will use the TestNG asset or soft asset. Right, if you want to read the data from the right Excel, we will use Apache Py. We can use JSON or CSV files, property file. Right, we require a property file to store the environment variables. Right, and then for reports we can use either TestNG report or extend report. For continuous integration, Jenkins. Right, we will use a GitHub Actions or Jenkins. Mostly everyone will use Jenkins. For parallel execution, Selenium Grid or third-party cloud tools we can use like a right, SaaS Labs browser stack. Right, those we can use. Coming to same thing, right, this is the what we required, what are the components we required for TestNG if we want to develop a framework using TestNG Selenium. Right, suppose if I want to develop same thing with Cucumber. For Cucumber, what we required few of the things are same only. Selenium WebDriver. Right, we required a Selenium WebDriver. Cucumber, for Cucumber we required a Cucumber. Right, we write a Cucumber BDD test cases written in Gherkin language, dot feature files, right, step definitions, before and after hooks, Cucumber runner. Right, to run the test case, here we will use a Cucumber runner. Right, for dependency management, Maven or Gradle. Data driven testing, we will use a tables, right, scenario outline and example session. We can use here also JSON, CSV, Excels, right, Excel files. For logging, SLF4j or log4j. Right, here also we can use extent reports or Cucumber reports, Alluri reports, right, or built-in plugins also there. Right, if you want to generate in JSON format, XML format, HTML format, we have already. You want custom reports, more right, user-friendly reports, extent reports, Alluri reports, we can integrate. For continuous integration, we can use Jenkins or GitHub Actions. For parallel execution, we can use Cucumber with the TestNG or JUnit also we can use. Right, fine. Those are the right. What are the different components if you are building the TestNG with the Selenium framework, or if you want to build with the Cucumber with the Selenium, we require those things. Use TestNG if you need a structured and scalable framework with extensive reporting and parallel execution. But when we will go for Cucumber, if you want to implement BDD, behavior driven development, right? Sometimes, right, client want, right, they want BS also, they want to write the test cases, right? Then in those cases we will go for BDD, so that it is a plain old language feature files, right? So business people, it is advantage, business people and tech leads, right, developers, automation engineers, it is very easy to understand what we are automating. How do you handle data parameterization globally in automation framework, right? How do you handle data parameterization, right? How you will send data to the framework, right? Right, data parameterization in TestNG we can use. First one is to achieve data driven testing, we will use a data provider. Right, in TestNG we will have a data provider concept. It allows passing multiple test data to method. Data provider means to execute our test cases, right, multiple times. Same test case I want to execute to different sets of data. Either we can use data we can get from Excel, JSON, CSV or database. Right, how to use data provider? We can create @test data provider login. First we have to create the data provider. Right, a data provider name of the data, any name we can go, same name in the test case we have to give. Right, read and pass it. It is what is the return type, two-dimensional object. Right, we have to read the data and right, format the two-dimensional object. Then we have to pass to test case. Right. Then in TestNG we can also use to send the data parameters also. We can use in the XML file parameter name value. Right, we can use parameters. How to read these parameters on top of the test case? We can use @parameter URL. Right, if we want multiple comma separated. Right, or we can use property file. Right, to maintain a key value pair format, we can use config file. How you will read property file? Just a simple thing, properties object, create properties object and properties dot load file in push stream object we have to simple that we can use wherever we want. Right, in Cucumber how we will pass the data, right? We will use the scenario outline to achieve the data driven testing. We can use the scenario outline and example section we can pass from here. Right, in the step definition we can read those data. Right, or if you have a complex data, then we can use the data tables after the step itself we can use. Right, here scenario only, directly wherever we required in that step we can read, right? And then further step we can use the data table, right? We can convert data table into map or list, or we can use the Excel, right? JSON file, we can use the JSON file or Excel file to store the data and read the data. Right, to read the JSON data, right, we can use the object mapper. We can take the help of object mapper, we can read the data of it. Right, then how to run selected test from the set of test cases. Right, suppose if there are multiple test cases, 100 test cases are there, I want to run few of the test cases only. What are the different ways I can run selected test cases from the whole regression test cases? One way in TestNG what we can do, we can create the include, right? By using the include, right, only few test cases we can run by using the include tags, right? And also groups, right? We can also write on top of the test case groups, right? We can give the multiple groups also, right? Comma separated like this we can give. So smoke, it is belongs to smoke group and regression. It is belongs to only regression. It is belongs to only smoke. If you want to run only smoke, in the TestNG file we have to write the groups run and include which one we want to run, which group we want to run. Smoke group, suppose I want to run only smoke group smoke, or if you want to run regression then we can give regression. If you want multiple then we can add multiple includes, right? From command prompt also we can run it. right? Mven test -d groups smoke. Command prompt also by using Maven we can also run. Suppose if you want, we can also do the disable from the test case itself. Right, enable equal to false. But this is the not a best practice. Best practice is we can use either groups or include tags. Right, this is if you want to every time enable disable in the code means it is right, we have to touch the code. Right, it's not, if you want to disable permanently, this is the best solution. If you want to suppose today I have automated, after some time they have removed this test case, this functionality, right? Then we can disable instead of removing. It's better always to don't remove whatever you have automated, right? It will be useful for further logging. Tomorrow sometime they will ask, right, suddenly, right, is this functionality, why it is not automated, right? Then we can say it is automated, but after that we can, while disabling, it's better to add documentation also why it is disabled, right? Which story, which sprint, and by using which Jira we can note down here, so that tomorrow it will be very useful, right? Run the selected tests in Cucumber framework, right? How to run in the Cucumber? In TestNG we have used either groups, or we can use either groups, or in the TestNG file include tags. But in coming to Cucumber we can use the tags, right? In the scenario we can give like this. On top of the feature we can give a scenario regression. This scenario belongs to regression, this scenario belongs to both, right? If you want to run in the runner file, what we can do, we can include the tags @smoke. If I want to run only smoke, @smoke, right? If you want to run both, we can give both tags, right? We can run by like this. And command prompt, if you want to run mvn test-d cucumber filter tags smoke, from the maven command we can run like this, right? If you want to run a single feature file, right, we can give -d cucumber.feature. What is the feature file path, right? If you want to run a specific scenario, right, we can give mvn test-d cucumber.features. What is the feature file path, colon scenario line, right? In the feature file where the scenario starts, which scenario I want to run, we can give like this also, right? Like this also we can provide, right? Running based on the profiles, we can also use the maven profiles. If we have idea about the profiles, we can also create the profile in the pom.xml. In the profile section, suppose this is the profile, what is the id, smoke test, what is the property, cucumber filter tags smoke, run the smoke test. While running the mvn test -p smoke test, what is the id of the profile, smoke test, so that it will run the cucumber filter tags what we have given smoke, so it will run the smoke, right? Like this we can run particular test cases in the selenium or cucumber, selenium or cucumber, right? Right, we'll continue. It will become a very long video if we go further. We will continue in the next video. Right, we'll continue in the next video. Remaining set of questions. Right, thanks for watching. If you like my way of teaching and content presentation, just subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section. Any suggestions or improvements, just provide in the comments. I will take it. Right, just share to your friends or like the video. Thanks for watching.